It's Tuesday, December 29th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the region's latest news. It's also finally starting to look and feel like December out there, but we'll hear more about that later from Rob Adams, who will also be bringing us the latest in local sports news. And of course, Donald Eng will join us to take a look back in history. But first, on to some of the stories we're following today. A Milford man was arrested on a warrant Christmas Eve and charged with having inappropriate sexual contact with a juvenile between 2008 and 2010 in Milford. 45-year-old James Mayer has been charged with 2 counts of sexual assault in the first degree, 2 counts of sexual assault in the fourth degree, and 4 counts of risk of injury to a minor. Police said that on October 15th, the Milford Police Department received reports of a sexual assault that occurred between 2008 and 2010. An investigation was conducted by the department's Special Investigations Unit and the State of Connecticut Department of Children and Families. Through the course of the investigation, police say it was determined that James Mayer did have inappropriate sexual contact with a juvenile victim. On December 24th at about 9:30 in the morning, Mayer turned himself into Milford Police after becoming aware of the active arrest warrant. He posted a $75,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in Milford Superior Court on December 28th. Police are looking for a man they said beat and choked a local woman during a home invasion. On Sunday night, police said they were called to a home on Gregory Street. When they got there, they found that a 38-year-old woman was lying in the front doorway of her home with a leather belt wrapped around her neck. They said she was bleeding from a head wound and had bruises on her face, and she was taken to Bridgeport Hospital. Police said the woman told them she had been in bed watching television when a man entered her bedroom, put a gun to her head, and ordered her to turn over her money or he would kill her. The man began hitting the woman in the head with the gun and choking her until she told him there was money in her purse in the kitchen. The man fled with the purse, police said, and their investigation is ongoing. On the morning of Christmas Eve, Wilton's emergency responders were dispatched to Route 7 and Station Rock after a propane delivery truck caught fire. According to Wilton Fire Marshal Rocco Grosso, the fire began around 8:30 in the truck's engine compartment and burned into the cab, but did not ignite the volatile cargo and was extinguished within a matter of minutes. Until then, however, firefighters exercised extreme caution, using a deck gun to douse the flames from a distance. Once the blaze was extinguished, firefighters metered the area and detected no propane readings. Nevertheless, representatives from the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection and the Office of the State Fire Marshal were called to the scene and consulted. Following their counsel, responders offloaded the propane cargo onto a separate undamaged vehicle before towing the damaged cab. The first on the scene happened to be Wilton Police Chief Robert Crosby, who was on his way into work when he heard the dispatch calls and saw the smoke. Thinking fast, according to the Wilton Bulletin, he pulled over and began directing traffic until the arrival of other responders who came within minutes. Wilton Fire, Police, and Community Emergency Response Team members responded to the incident. Police assisted by closing Route 7 from Ridgefield Road to Pimperwog Road, as well as the entrance to Station Rock where the incident took place. Evidently, the truck, which had Anthem Propane Exchange printed on its side, was being driven northbound to Diamond Deli in Wilton, but the driver missed the turn and pulled into Station Road to circle back around. And while there, waiting to get back onto Route 7, the driver and passenger saw smoke and flames rise up out of the cab floorboard. Both left the vehicle, and neither were injured. And according to the Associated Press, a Connecticut police officer is in trouble after allegedly posting explicit photos of his estranged wife online and saying that she wanted to engage in sex with strangers. Wilton police officer Dennis Adams was arrested December 22nd on a single count of second-degree breach of peace. He was released without bail after pleading not guilty. He is due at Superior Court in Rockville on January 21st. Windsor police have placed Adams on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the case and an internal investigation. According to Adams' arrest warrant, he posted an explicit picture of his estranged wife on Craigslist and listed her phone number. Adams' attorney tells the Hartford Courant his client denies the allegations, and the estranged wife made similar allegations in the past that were determined to be unfounded. And with the growing problem of opiate addiction in surrounding Fairfield County communities, State Representatives Brenda Kupchik, Laura Devlin, Dave Ritigliano, Ben McGorty, Kristen McCarthy-Vahey, with State Senators Tony Wong and Marilyn Moore, will be hosting a community discussion on Connecticut's opiate addiction crisis on Monday, January 11th, from 6:30 to 8:30 in the evening at Sacred Heart University at the Mattire Center at 5151 Park Avenue. The public is invited to join the state legislative delegation, community leaders, law enforcement, mental health professionals, and residents for a discussion on Connecticut's opiate addiction crisis. People are welcome to come learn, ask questions, and offer solutions on the ways we can combat this growing epidemic. You can get more on that event at TrumbleTimes.com. And Connecticut consumers are facing a deadline to claim refunds for a $158 million federal settlement with Sprint and Verizon over unauthorized charges placed on wireless phone bills. The practice is known as cramming. U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal, a member of the Senate Commerce Committee, said the practice has become widespread and causes substantial financial harm to subscribers. Websites have been set up for Sprint and Verizon customers so they can seek restitution, but the deadline to apply for a refund is December 31st. Claims can be made online or mailed. Both companies agreed to settle allegations that customers may have been charged for unauthorized third-party services on their bills by companies providing services such as ringtones, horoscopes, and celebrity gossip. Customers are eligible for full refunds of the unauthorized charges. Verizon and Sprint customers can get more information at the websites tssprintfundspsms.com and cfbsettlementverizon.com. And for New Year's Eve, coming up this Thursday, December 31st, Metro North will be operating a modified weekday morning and afternoon peak service with an early afternoon getaway schedule. Train consolidation in the AM peak, extra outbound service between noon and 4 p.m., and consolidated service during the PM peak will be offered. There will also be extra inbound late afternoon and early evening service, as well as overnight New Year's morning service. Drinking alcohol on Metro North trains and at Metro North stations is banned from noon on New Year's Eve until noon on New Year's Day. All right, we're going to switch gears now and throw it over to Rob Adams for a look at today's weather. Rob?
All right, Kate, good morning, everyone. Well, we're in the balance of the winter weather advisory. As we look outside, we've got rain and sleet becoming all rain after right about now, 11 this morning. Patchy fog after 11, I should say, and a high near 43. Wind chill values are going to be chilly between 25 and 35, but the good news is we're up over that freezing mark by quite a bit, up to 43. But again, wind chill will stay low, so we won't see the freezing, but you're going to feel cold. We've got a wind out of the northeast from 6 to 11, gusts as high as 22, and the total daytime sleet accumulation really less than half an inch possible. Roads are in pretty good shape. Tonight, patchy fog after 4 in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy, low 33. To Wednesday, chance of rain after 4, patchy fog before 8 in the morning, and otherwise partly sunny, a high near 45 with a light wind. Wednesday night, rain likely mainly before 10, cloudy, low 37, and the chance precipitation just 60%. To Thursday, mostly sunny, high near 47. Thursday night will be low, partly cloudy, low around 34. For Friday, as we start the year, mostly sunny, high near 42. Temperatures getting a little more seasonal as we look into the weekend. 39 for Saturday, 38 for Sunday, 38 for next Monday. Right now, New Canaan has 38, Darien has 42, and in Shelton, it's 36 degrees, Kate.
All right, thanks, Rob. When we come back, Donald Dang is going to join us to take a look back on this day in history. Rob also has some highlights from last night's boys hockey game. We're going to talk about where the HAN network's going to be this evening. That's coming up on your coffee break after this.
Had a sports injury that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist quickly. Their highly trained orthopedic professionals expertly treat you without an appointment. Skiing, snowboard, or sports accident, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk. Call 203-845-2070 or coastalorthoexpress.com. Find them on Facebook at Coastal Ortho CT.
Discover the Wilburton Inn in Manchester, Vermont, a 30-acre historic estate featuring a turn-of-the-century mansion with elegant inn guest rooms and 7 large private vacation homes, perfect for ski vacations and holiday celebrations. Special offer on select rooms and houses. Stay 2 nights, get the 3rd night free through Christmas Day. CNN has called the Wilburton one of the top 8 mansion hotels in America. Call 802-362-2500 or visit wilburtoninn.com for more information.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your local destination for the best of the holidays. Shop Stewart's for the freshest produce, certified prime rib roasts, magnolia wreaths, fresh baked pies, gingerbread houses, Christmas candies, and the season's best wine and craft brews right next door at Stewart's Spirits. Shop Walter Stewart's, 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network. Hi,
And we're back on this Tuesday, December 29th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and as you got a sneak peek at Donald Eng over there, it's time to throw it over to him for a look back on this day in history. Don?
Well, Kate, on this day, we met the enemy, and while they weren't exactly us, they weren't as much different as we thought. But first we go back in history, way back to 1170 CE. Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury, assassinated inside Canterbury Cathedral by followers of King Henry II. He subsequently becomes a saint and martyr in both the Anglican and the Catholic Church. The murder, by the way, may have been a misunderstanding, as Becket had excommunicated one of Henry's allies, and the king is said to have muttered to his court, "Would someone please rid him of Becket?" 4 of his knights apparently interpreted that as an order. This was the beginning of a long tradition of King Henry's having problems with the church. 1845 now. In accordance with the international boundary delineation, the U.S. annexes the Republic of Texas. The Republic of Texas had been independent since the Texas Revolution, and it is admitted as the 28th U.S. state. If you're keeping score, the United States is the 5th nation to govern Texas, following Spain, France, Mexico, and the Republic of Texas. 16 years later, Texas would join the Confederate States of America and raise the 6th flag over Texas. That is where the amusement park company gets its name from. 1851, the first American Young Men's Christian Association opens in Boston, Mass. It was founded on June 6th, the YMCA was founded on June 6th, 1844 in London, and it aims to put Christian principles into practice by developing a healthy body, mind, and spirit. Those 3 tenets are reflected by the different sides of the red triangle, which is part of the YMCA logo. And finally, we go now to 1985. St. Petersburg, well, then Leningrad, and Seattle for this.
Is Leningrad, USSR. And this is Seattle, Washington, in the United States. Today, these citizens from the Soviet city and these citizens from the U.S. city will talk by television satellite on a Citizens Summit.
Leningrad alone, we buried so many people, as many people during the war as were lost by all of America.
What is the city of Gorky, and what is it used for?
We're very worried about missiles in West Germany, cruise missiles in the UK, in Holland, in the Netherlands, and the rest of Europe. Why are these missiles in Europe?
And Soviet commentator Vladimir Posner on satellite TV. It was a 4-hour satellite link-up. Posner, by the way, was an American-born child of a Russian Jew and a French Catholic, frequently used by the Soviet Union as an apologist for controversial Soviet actions, including the invasion of Afghanistan, he became a minor celebrity in the United States because of his pro-Soviet stance and the fact that he spoke perfect English, albeit with a pronounced New York accent. That is your look back in history, and I am Donald Ng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, staying on your history theme, Jill Dion of the Milford Mirror has an interesting story up right now. An old Milford cemetery stone is a piece of gold rush history. 10 years ago, former city historian Richard Platt got a call from a man who lived on Gulf Street near the entrance to the cemetery. The man had found a marble slab on his property, turned it over, and noticed it was an old Platt family cemetery marker. However, at the time, the town historian didn't have any use for the marker, so he declined to retrieve it. However, this past fall, Platt got a call from a distant relative in Watertown who descends from the same line as Mary E. and Henry D. Platt, who died at the ages of 36 and 22 and are named on the stone. So Platt sent out to retrieve the cemetery marker. However, the man who had called Platt 10 years before had moved, and when Platt knocked on the door of the business that had moved in, the man and woman who answered didn't know what he was talking about. However, as he was about to leave, the couple went to the backyard and pointed to a slab that lay there. It was broken in 4 pieces, and when one piece was turned over, there were the markings that Platt was looking for. The Platts named on the stone, Mary and Henry, were the children of Dan Platt, who was born in 1796 in Milford and died in 1856 in Watertown, and Emily Platt, whom he married in 1817. The stone carries a story of travel, tragedy, and the California gold rush, Platt said, explaining that the Watertown branch of these descendants have letters that tell of young Henry's youthful adventures as he took part in the quest for gold on the West Coast. But you can get the full story and history at milfordmirror.com. Going to throw it over to Rob Adams for the latest in local sports. Rob?
All right, Kate, go get a cup of coffee, relax. We got a lot to get to here with sports from last night. We start with a wonderful hockey game in West Haven. St. Joseph visited the Edward L. Bennett rink to take on the West Haven Blue Devils as part of their Christmas tournament. Let's pick up the highlights as we move to the third period.
Big play to tie us up. Into the corner it goes. Gilbert sends it around, near side. Here comes St. Joseph, bouncing it off the boards. Full Desi. Got it turned around. Payne comes across the St. Joseph line with 8.5 to go. Throws it. Blasted one-timer, and that comes over near side. 8:25 remaining third period. 2-1 our score. And a good one at the Bennett rink. Down goes Gilbert. Gilbert alone. Gilbert! Score!
Rob, Will Gilbert comes out for a quick break. Comes out, gets the quick change. He gets back out on the ice. It's that he gets that little bit of a breath. Gets that rush. Everybody recognizes it. Gets out ahead of the puck. Attacks the net and just beats Cole with the backhand. But that's just a tribute to great heads-up play in the neutral zone for St. Joe's.
Once they recognize it on the scoreboard, we've got a 2-2 game, and now they do. 8:08 to play. Comes over near side, played back towards center, now in the left circle. Renewed interest by St. Joseph. They got a little hop in their step. Throw it across and they score again!
Tremendous forecheck presence for St. Joe's. They're able to keep West Haven from clearing the puck. It looked like they were about ready to get it out of the zone. Little stick check, little poke check, puts the puck in the corner. And all it is just a centering pass, gets it to the far side, catches Cole off balance, and it's just somebody that doesn't move. And when you get the score where he doesn't move, just sits there outside the crease, outside of the goalie's periphery, gets that shot right on goal and lifts it right in.
DiSabella makes it a 3-2 game. Here they come with Payne right circle. Payne behind the net, setting it up now left circle. Waits, finds Lynch. Lynch through traffic, they score! Well, this has gotten fun. A power play goal. We're knotted at 3.
Cole gets aggressive playing that puck. He comes outside of his crease just a little bit. goes to pad it away. It doesn't kick off the pad the way he expected it, and he was forced to cover it up.
Dangerous little shot that went wide of the net, comes over to the far side now. Played out of the left corner, 5:19 to go, side of the left circle. Bounces off the boards, held in at the left point, thrown on net again, puck loose, turn around, whistling, they score!
So what does all that mean? All right, Adam Usinger scored twice, including the game winner in overtime. The Cadets topped the Blue Devils 4-3. West Haven had a 2-0 lead after one on goals by Tyler Payne and Jeremy Borelli, but Will Gilbert scored late in the second to cut the deficit in half to 2-1. The action got furious in the third. Usinger tied the game at the 6:45 mark. Nick DiSabella gave the Cadets a lead 19 seconds later. Then Pete Riccitelli knotted the game with under 5 to go before Usinger scored the game winner in OT. The Cadets are 1-0 on the year. The Blue Devils dropped to 0-2. Reed Barostecki scored twice as Daniel Hand put up a 3-spot in the second period en route to a 5-3 win over Staples West and Shelton. Brian Johnson, Ian Offenberg, and Sam Newall scored for the Wreckers. Earlier in the evening at the Bennett Rink in girls ice hockey, Gabby Prisco scored in overtime to give West Haven Sacred Heart Academy a 2-1 win over Trumbull St. Joseph. Girls basketball, Julia Pangallo led the Falcon attack with 11 points as Fairfield Ludlow knocked off McMahon 59-16. Reagan Steed and Bridget Pullman each chipped in with 9. Emily Coyle scored 18 points as Darien beat New Canaan 46-31. Campbell Armstrong led New Canaan with 12 points. Trumbull High's girls basketball team sank 9 3-pointers and logged a dozen assists on 20 field goals en route to a 53-32 victory over Bethel at the Massac Holiday Tournament in Monroe on Monday night. The Eagles improved to 4-1 on the year in advance to take on Amity of Woodbridge in Wednesday's tournament championship game beginning at 7. From the scoreboard, girls basketball, it was Scarsdale of New York over Wilton 58-51, Danbury 58, New Milford 20, Norwalk over Brookfield 48-27. To boys basketball, Jack Williams hit a game-winning 3-point basket with 35 remaining in the Hoops for Heroes tournament at Newtown High School. The Warriors are 2-1 now. They will face Colby Cathedral in the championship game on Wednesday. From wrestling, West Hill over Norwalk 69-11. Seniors Joseph Kalestos and sophomore Quint Bartish both had wins for the Norwalk Bears. Now, due to the poor weather forecast for the overnight hours of last night and for this early Tuesday morning, the FCAC track and field qualifier has been postponed until Wednesday at 10 a.m. That meet was to feature New Canaan, Ludlow, Ward, Stamford, Ridgefield, and Danbury. Again, it's tomorrow at 10. To the athletes of the week we go. All right, you ready? Let's get the voting lined up here. Let's get it started. We will go with ladies first. The HAN FCAC Female Athlete of the Week nominees are Georgia Cassidy of Darien Ice Hockey. The senior forward had 5 goals, 4 assists during Darien's 2 wins last week. In a rematch of last year's FCAC final on Monday, Cassidy had a hat trick. The Wave beat Ridgefield 8-2. Gianna Bruno of New Canaan Ice Hockey is also a nominee. She's a sophomore and a second-year varsity player for the Rams. She had a big game in a 3-0 shutout of Greenwich last Monday. On that first line, Bruno scored the Rams' second goal during a power play in the third period. Caroline Beneville of Greenwich basketball had 26 points during a 63-50 win over Darien on Monday. Taylor Brown of Trumbull basketball is up next. She drained a 3-pointer with 3 seconds remaining to give the Golden Eagles, or just the Eagles if you so choose, a 41-40 win over defending champion Ridgefield on Monday. Brooke Johnson of Wilton Norwalk Ice Hockey, the goalie, made an incredible, can this number be right? 87 saves during the Warriors' 10-0 loss to Darien last Wednesday. She faced, I kid you not, it's on the page here, 95 shots in an ice hockey game. Talia Hendel of Staples basketball scored 8 points, grabbed 8 boards. The Wreckers defeated Danbury High 36-23. The Wreckers are 4-1 on the year. Claudia Tucci of Trumbull basketball had 9 points, 10 boards. The Eagles are 3-1 on the year. As for the boys, trying to get through these as quick as we can, Jeremiah Green Younger of Brian McMahon boys basketball, double digits last week, 17 points, 7 rebounds as they defeated Cheshire 62-47. We move now to Nick Rendy of Wilton Wrestling. He dominated in the 113-pound weight bracket to win the championship at the Guilford Wrestling Tournament on December 19th. Jack Williams of Wilton Basketball had 30 points as the Warriors knocked off Massac 67-54. David Voigt of Darien Ice Hockey, well, the Blue Wave improved to 2-0 on the year. He made 28 saves in a 4-1 win over Fairfield Prep on Wednesday. Nick Lavaris of Stanford Boys Basketball, the junior guard, had a game-high 34 during Stanford's 70-64 win over Newtown. Then we also have Greg Lawrence of Fairfield Ludlow, 20 points, 12 boards. The Falcons knocked off Bassac 66-53. Justin Jordan of Darien Basketball as well, 3 3-pointers, 13 points. Those are your nominees. It's a lot to think about, so go look at it at live.han.network. We won't read you the entire schedule unless Kate wants to take the rest of the morning off. Here's what we have for you very quickly. Greenwich is at Woodstock Academy for that tournament in boys basketball. Ridgefield and Norwalk at the Massac Holiday Tournament. Trumbull at Caner Tech. Girls basketball is Bassac at Central, St. Joseph at Harding, Norwalk at the Shelton Holiday Tournament, and Greenwich as well on the girls' side up at Woodstock Academy. Boys ice hockey, Ridgefield at Notre Dame Fairfield, Trumbull at the Milford Co-op, St. Joe is at Xavier, saving the best for last. New Canaan and Darien, they meet at the Darien Ice Rink. Face-off, 4 o'clock today. Pre-game show, 3:55 on the HAN network. Finally, girls ice hockey, East Catholic and Ridgefield. Believe it or not, that was on almost no caffeine with sports. I'm Rob Adams. Kate, it's all yours.
All right. Thanks so much, Rob. Well, we're going to step out for a quick break, and when we come back, recap some of the top news stories we're following today, coming up on your coffee break after this.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at the Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
And we're back on this Tuesday edition of your coffee break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, taking a look at some of the top stories we're following today. A Milford man was arrested on a warrant Christmas Eve and charged with having inappropriate sexual contact with a juvenile between 2008 and 2010. 45-year-old James Mayer has been charged with 2 counts of sexual assault in the first degree, 2 counts of sexual assault in the fourth degree, and 4 counts of risk of injury to a minor. Police said that on October 15th, the Milford Police Department received reports of a sexual assault that had occurred between those years. An investigation was conducted by the department's Special Investigations Unit and the State of Connecticut Department of Children and Families. Police said through the course of the investigation, it was determined that James Mayer had inappropriate sexual contact with a juvenile victim. On December 24th at around 9:30 in the morning, Mayer turned himself into Milford police. He posted a $75,000 bond and was scheduled to appear in court yesterday. And in Bridgeport, police are looking for a man they said beat and choked a local woman during a home invasion. On Sunday night, police said they were called to a home on Gregory Street, and when they got there, they said they found a 38-year-old woman lying in the front doorway of her home with a leather belt wrapped around her neck. They said she was bleeding from a head wound and had bruises on her face, and she was taken to Bridgeport Hospital. Police said the woman told them she had been in bed watching television when a man entered her bedroom, put a gun to her head, and ordered her to turn over her money or he would kill her. The man began hitting the woman in the head with the gun and choking her until she told him there was money in the purse in the kitchen. The man then fled, police said, and their investigation is ongoing. And in some exciting news for an Easton resident who's taking her puzzle-solving skills to a new show on Fox called Superhuman. Growing up in Easton, Zoe Wheeler and her siblings spent a lot of time doing puzzles, encouraged by their mother, who's a children's book author, Elise Broke. As an English major at Brown University, Wheeler, 25 years old, took her passion for crossword puzzles to a new level and began creating them. She became the New York Times youngest female crossword constructor at age 19. Last June, she received a surprise call from someone at Superhuman, a new program at Fox set to premiere January 4th from 8 to 10 p.m. Talent scouts had seen Wheeler's crosswords in the Times and reached out to see if she would like to compete on the show. Although she hadn't originally answered the casting call, she completed the challenges to qualify for the show and flew to Los Angeles in June. She stayed for a week with 2 days of filming as one of 12 contestants, she said. There she met actor Cal Penn, who's the show host, and the guest panelists, who include iconic boxer and entertainer Mike Tyson, actress and comedian Mary Lynn Raskub, and neurosurgeon Dr. Rahul Jandal. The show premiere will test the abilities of 12 ordinary people to use their extraordinary skills, and they can win the $100,000 prize. But you can get the full story at eastoncourier.com. And that's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break. We still have a lot coming up today. 12:30, The Drive with Denise. You'll get some great entertaining tips if you're throwing a New Year's Eve party. Of course, Nutmeg Sports at 2 and 4 o'clock. New Canaan and Darien face off in boys ice hockey. We'll be there. You can watch it live at live.han.network. Have a great Tuesday, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow at 11.